I took a piece of angle iron and cut about, I didn't measure these, I just kind of guesstimate them and then cut each one of them off the first one that I cut. But they're just pieces of angle iron. Hey, this is, what would that be, 1 inch angle, or 1 1/4 inch angle, 1/8 inch thick. So I cut the pieces, yeah, they're about 2.5 inches long. I put a slot in them so they'd have a little bit of adjustment on there, and I just drilled out a hole in them with a drill bit. I drilled out 2 holes adjacent to each other on a line, and then I just took my milling machine and milled out the slot. Now my milling machine was a 7/32 chainsaw file. I put 2 on the top there like that, and I got this piece of tubing, and I'll just weld that like that. That first piece is welded on there. I gotta figure out how to do the rest of it. Back to the little Craftsman lathe again. I've got this shaft. It's the end of a drive shaft, a small drive shaft that I bought years ago to use off a PTO on one of my trucks to run a winch. I dug it out, and I'm going to use it for the universal joint on the airframe rotary. So I haven't quite got it all figured out yet, but I don't want to weld on it and ruin it for use later on the drive shaft. I'm kind of cobbling it together here. But right now, what I've got, see this end, you can take a bolt in here and tighten it up on the shaft on this end for the drive end, and then this end fits down into the drive shaft itself, it's splined in. I have to figure out some kind of a socket to fit over this that I can drive. I have had a couple ideas, but I don't have anything firmed up yet. So I found this piece of steel rod. I don't know exactly where it came from. It was all greasy. I'd used it for a drift for something. Chucked it up in the lathe. I'm putting a center hole in it right now. So I'm going to turn that diameter down so that it'll fit in this socket in the universal joint. I'm also going to have it fit in this piece of box tubing here. It will give me more surface area to weld on, maybe make it a little easier to weld onto the frame that I'm building there. Just going to make a skim cut on this first time. Dial indicator is not exactly on a flat spot on there. It's on the side of this carriage here in the slant, so it's not holding itself very good. If I had a flat face on there for it to be on, it'd probably be a lot better. Alright, I'm going to check that again. Well, I could force it on there. Well, I got it all fitting now. It's a little bit tight still on this end, but that's fine. Okay, we'll go to the automatic cutoff tool. Nice swirly marks on there from the cut. This is the cutoff piece, and this is the work piece here. This is the work piece. There's the piece. This part here fits in this nice tight fit in there, and I'll put a bolt in there and tighten that right down. That should lock right in. And then this side here is square tubing fits over that, and we'll weld that onto there. And then, okay, I'm mocking this up. I got a little cut-off piece of this tubing that I used for a round piece that I milled up or machined up on the lathe for the universal joint. Well, I've got a piece making for a leg, And if I take that and bring it just like this, I can cut this off here, and then weld that in, and it'll weld into this top piece and then this piece. I've got a piece of tubing cut, and cut it about 1.5 inches long so it can hang out either side of this cross piece. And I put the shaft that we cut in there, and I've welded it in on the top. The firewall portion of this is all fabbed up now. We've got a piece going across here, across the top, engine mounts, and then that piece welded in here for to mount this universal joint on. I run diagonals from the lower engine mounts up to this upper engine mount, this crossbar there, and so that should spread the load, divide the load up amongst all 4 engine mount things. It's 1-inch box tubing. It's all welded up now. I just need to take the wire brush and clean up the oxides off, the silicone stuff off of it, and then I need to trim this piece off, this leg here off a little bit, and this piece off a little bit. Well, there's the engine mount part, airframe mount part of the forward engine rotator, or airframe rotator. When the paint dries, it's finished. It's ready to go on. There's the pivot point right there, the attach point right there for the U-joint.